Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am joined by guest RJ Rennie today to debate about who won the Aaron Rodgers trade between the Packers and the Jets. The Packers finally can move on to Jordan Love as their new starting quarterback. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they finally secured the services of a former four-time MVP winner in Aaron Rodgers via trade. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. Who won the Aaron Rodgers trade?
The Jets committed highway robbery in this deal. You really can't say anything else about it. You remember we had this debate several months ago about what would happen whenever this trade officially went down, and I was like, well, I mean, I'd like to see some picks and, maybe some talent coming over from the Jets roster to ours, because the Packers have yet to sign a single name player in free agency other than some special teamers, because they still hadn't figured out their cap situation with the deal with Aaron Rodgers. So they have wasted the first half of their offseason trying to get this deal done for 40 days. And in the deal, not only did they send Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, they sent their first round pick in this year's draft and their fifth round pick in this draft. So we gave them Aaron Rodgers and more picks, and in return only got one extra pick. We moved up 2 spots in the draft, got the number 42 overall pick, and then the number 207 overall pick. So we got 1 extra picks in this year's draft. Then we got a conditional that could become a first next year. Aaron Rodgers was treated like a mediocre veteran quarterback in this trade. So there's nothing blockbuster about this deal from a compensation standpoint. This was highway robbery if you were the Jets. And if you are a Jets fan, you are doing backflips because you got to get Aaron Rodgers, a 4-time MVP. Yeah, he's aging, but you still could get a good 2-3 good years out of him still. And you got a first round pick in return along with him. If you are the Jets, you are ecstatic right now.
Heck yeah, you better be ecstatic if you're a New York Jets fan right now. And you know why you gotta be ecstatic right now? It's because the New York Jets just got themselves a future Hall of Famer at the quarterback position. And I know some people might say old age, and I'm going to tell you that doesn't really matter because the alternative was Zach Wilson at quarterback. The New York Jets just upgraded themselves at the quarterback position tremendously. And you look at the price that they had to give up. I mean, you're looking at what guys like Deshaun Watson are going for and what Carson Wentz was going for a couple of years ago, and then you compare this to the Aaron Rodgers deal. I think this is a fantastic deal for the New York Jets. Not only do they get Aaron Rodgers, they don't even really lose a first round pick this year. And you were saying this when I had you on in terms of predicting where Aaron Rodgers would go to. Try to get some win now talent in return for Aaron Rodgers. They didn't even have to give up any players to get Aaron Rodgers. They still get to keep their core in there, which is kind of pretty insane to think about. You look at this New York Jets offense right now. They've got Breece Hall, who's going to be coming back from an ACL injury. They've got Mecole Hardman, who can run the football. They've got Garrett Wilson. They've got Uzomah, the tight end. You've got Mecole Hardman that you just added in free agency. You've got Allen Lazard that you just added in free agency as well. The New York Jets O-line is pretty good as well. And then, of course, you look at their elite defense. Their defense is lights out, and they've got a head coach that certainly knows what's he doing in himself and Robert Saleh. He's done a good job with the Jets in his 2 years here. It's just that he's had bad quarterback play. That's what's been holding him back. But Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be great in order for the Jets to be a good team. Aaron Rodgers just has to be average. But why can't Aaron Rodgers be average? Aaron Rodgers has shown his entire career that he's certainly capable of being an elite quarterback. I still believe that he can be an elite quarterback in the National Football League. And even if he's not elite for the New York Jets, I still think that the New York Jets are going to be a really good football team. I like the potential of this Jets team. When I look at this Jets team right now, I'm thinking division title. I'm not just thinking playoffs. I'm thinking this is a team that can contend in the AFC East, quite frankly, and they could even be dark horse contenders in the AFC. That's how good the Jets are with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. And this is honestly the best case scenario that the New York Jets could have hoped for. And that's for the first rounder that they gave up in 2024. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody's going to care on the Jets if they have to give up a first round if Aaron Rodgers is taking the New York Jets to the playoffs and ending their playoff drought and getting them to host playoff games, because that's quite frankly small potatoes in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, everything you said is accurate, and I feel like, because the draft is coming up on Thursday, I feel like, if anything, that Brian Gutekunst, however you say his name, Coot, just had to get this deal done and was really compromising here, because there is no possible way that on a decent timeline, without pressure from your fan base, without pressure from the quarterback, without a salary deficit that really you need to be freed up in order to sign players, that a deal like this gets done for a 4-time MVP quarterback. quarterback. This deal is obscene if you are a Packers fan and what you get in return for what this guy has done through his career. Now, if you're the Jets, you're doing backflips. This is an A-plus caliber trade and what they got back for Aaron Rodgers. And for the Packers, I'm giving it a C-. It was horrible compensation. They should have kept their pick and they should have got the Jets' first-round pick. Then we'll talk. But since instead they let the Jets keep their first-round pick, just drop down 2 spots. I mean, it's good for the future because you're looking to finally get someone that's caused a lot of offseason drama off of the roster. You thank him for everything he's done, but I think the front office is really to blame for only seeing 1 championship in the Aaron Rodgers tenure because they really wasted a lot of his career, and he still carried a bunch of rosters with minimal talent to the NFC Championship several times, unable to get over the hump. And now you're looking to see if Love is the guy, see if you can go Favre to Rodgers to Love in a seamless transition, because history has literally repeated itself. Favre was traded to the Jets before he went and signed with Minnesota. Rodgers has been traded to the Jets. Don't know what he's going to do after that. This is history repeating itself yet again for the Packers franchise. Now we'll see if the Packers actually commit to building a roster, learning from their past decade of mistakes, and actually giving Love what he needs to be successful and making better deals than this in order to get those kind of pieces if Love turns out to be the kind of guy he's been hyped up to be.
Well, when you talk about Jordan Love, I think he's going to be a star in the National Football League. Jordan Love, to me, has the tools necessary in order to be a great quarterback, and he's going to be playing under a pretty good head coach in LaFleur. He's certainly one of the best X's and O's coaches in the National Football League. So I do like that from the grand scheme of things. That's why I'm not going to give this an F for the Packers in terms of this trade deal, even though I should be. I'm going to give this deal a C, but only because they got Jordan Love, who is now going to be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I think that he can take the Packers to a Super Bowl sometime within the next 5 years. That's how high I am on Jordan Love. But when you talk about the New York Jets, though, I got to give this team an A+ for this trade. Certainly could not have executed it any better. A lot of people are saying that Aaron Rodgers, he had a down year last year, but people don't realize just how bad the Packers roster was last year. They didn't have a true number one. Yeah, they had decent running backs in Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, but they didn't have that game changer that you need at the skill position. And their team was just, quite frankly, old. But wouldn't it be a slap in the face for Aaron Rodgers if the Green Bay Packers end up using a wide receiver in the first round? Like, they used their first round pick on a wide receiver that they got in return for Aaron Rodgers. Wouldn't that be a slap in the face for Aaron Rodgers? Because it's like, man, where was that when I was here? I needed a wide receiver, and you guys took a quarterback to replace me. Now I'm gone. Now you guys want to help your replacement take a wide receiver in the draft, and he gets help? Well, I never got help on the Green Bay Packers. Y'all sabotaging me. So that's how Aaron Rodgers could interpret that. But as far as the Packers gaining draft picks, I don't even really think they gained all that much, quite frankly. Because, yeah, they get a second-round pick, but if you're the New York Jets, you don't really care about giving up a second-round pick because you got the second-round pick from the Elijah Moore trade as well. So you guys still have a second-round pick. So it's not even like a loss for the New York Jets in that regard. And the Packers, they also moved down as well in the draft. The Jets get the Packers' 5th-round pick, while the Packers have to move down and get the 6th-round pick in this year's draft. It's not even necessarily helping out the Green Bay Packers in terms of getting better in this year's draft. They're basically banking on Aaron Rodgers having a good year in 2023 in order to get a first-rounder in 2024. Because if Aaron Rodgers has a mediocre year or he ends up getting injured or something like that, and the New York Jets are still somehow happening to be a good football team, then that trade was kind of a trash trade for the Green Bay Packers. There's no other way to put it. I mean, the fact of the matter is the New York Jets are a much better football team today than they were yesterday in terms of not having Aaron Rodgers versus having Aaron Rodgers. And they're right now, they're in the thick of things in the AFC. They're definitely contenders in there as well. Where do you think the New York Jets will finish this year?
I mean, there's 3 teams in the AFC East that could be in contention for that title, and it could be possible that we see on the AFC side, we see the AFC East send 3 teams to the playoffs. I would probably give it still to the Bills, even though the Bills kind of struggled last year. I think they could have a handle on it, but the Jets are probably going to be like right at their heels. Like, it's probably going to be a 12-5, 11-6 type division. Now, the Jets did take down the Bills last year without Aaron Rodgers, so that could prove to be costly. I will still say the Bills just have not had good success against the Bengals. Other than that, they have been able to handle the East.
Yeah, man. When you look at this New York Jets team, they're certainly got to be the favorites to win the AFC East right now. I know that there's Buffalo in there, but they've lost a lot of talent this offseason. And quite frankly, they're bound to regress at some point. You're not going to win the division every single year, especially if you're the Buffalo Bills. That division is tough. And then you've got the Miami Dolphins as well, who've got weapons all over the place. They've got a quarterback that seems to be improving each and every year. And then, of course, I know the Patriots are not really contenders in the AFC East, but they've always given the New York Jets trouble year in and year out. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't necessarily do great against the Patriots, so the Jets might not necessarily be able to sweep the Patriots in that regard. But as far as contending for the division, yeah, I think the New York Jets can go ahead and contend for that division. I think they can go ahead and win it. They might win 11, they might win 12 games. I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be great for this Jets team to win the division. Aaron Rodgers needs to not turn over the football, which is what he's done his entire career. And you look at the defense that the Jets have, they're very good at what they do. I think that in terms of AFC contention, I think the New York Jets could certainly be up there. I mean, of course, the only reason why they're not really true contenders in the AFC is because the AFC in general just has way too much talent. You think about the Bengals, you think about the Chiefs, you think about the Jaguars, you still even think about the Bills as well. And that's just some of the top tier teams in the AFC. There's also other teams in the AFC to think about as well. But the point is, the New York Jets, they made themselves a better football team in a very tough conference. So credit to the Jets in terms of what they got in the Aaron Rodgers compensation deal, because now they got themselves a better quarterback and they didn't even have to mortgage the future. I'm just really impressed by that. All right, well, RJ, thanks for being on the show, man. Appreciate you coming on here. All right, make sure you follow his Instagram at LilBigMan55. That'll be in the description box below. Again, thanks for being on the show.
Appreciate it, Dustin. Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, definitely. See ya, bro. Yup. Bye. That was RJ Rennie that you guys just heard. All right, so he believes that the New York Jets won this deal. I'm going to go ahead and agree with him as well. I believe that the New York Jets won this deal. This is not even really much of a question mark to me. The New York Jets, they are the ones that get the future Hall of Fame quarterback, and they didn't even have to give up that much in terms of draft capital. As for the Packers, it's not a bad deal because this does open up playing time for Jordan Love, but they certainly did not maximize their return for Aaron Rodgers. So that is why the Jets won the Aaron Rodgers trade, as that makes them instant contenders in the AFC. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinTran and @Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.